Alright everyone, welcome to part 2 of the Scooby-Doo Night of 100 Frights Advanced All Monster Tokens tutorial. If you have not watched part 1, I highly recommend you to watch part 1, as some of the things I will be doing in this video might not make sense to you. But without further ado, let's just get on, boy. So the first thing that we're going to do is that I mentioned Zero Cycle in the beginner route, but we are actually going to do Zero Cycle. So if you haven't been doing Zero Cycle, you're going to be doing it now because it's a really large time save in 6 seconds that you can basically do to just clean up your movement here. And this is Zero Cycle getting past this first box without getting smashed. I'll show it again. Again, this is just fundamental dashing movement. And basically, again, just follow my movement here. Just make sure your head is charging around these enemies and just don't hit them forehead. That's all I really have to say about it. And then we're gonna get through here, and then we're going to not leave the room yet. Basically, we're gonna get on this lip here, and once we're on this lip, we're going to jump up when that when this guy smashes down. We're gonna jump up. Again, you don't want to jump down into these guys. So here I'm gonna kind of hit. Basically, when I jumped on the previous one, I hit this guy on the way as it was going up, and I was coming down. I'll just show it again, actually. So what we want to do is get on this lip and then jump all the way up here, and then you're going to jump across this life preserver, and then from here, what I like to do is, you see this little piece of wood here? This box is going to come up at you, and basically in order to avoid getting boxed, which is basically like if you jump down into a box that is traveling up, it can clip through you, and you can actually hit the death trigger inside of the boxes or at the bottom of the boxes, which basically just kills you. And to avoid that, on this third one in tandem, I like to jump basically on this railing as it's coming up, and that will just keep you from getting boxed, and then you can continue and get the coast token. So let's just show it again. Again, you want to do it in the first cycle here, but for the tutorial purposes, we're just going to do it like this. Just quick jump over here, make sure you hit that thing as it comes up, and then jump on top of here, and then you can go and get the token and then make your way through. So again, on the two middle ones, you're basically going to want to jump on that piece of wood. So here, jumping across, jumping on this piece of wood, stuttering, and then jumping up to this piece of wood, and then jumping off of it immediately to get the token. And that's how you get the Coast 2 token in the fastest manner possible, and then we can move on to Coast 3. So next level is Coast 3, and basically we're going to do something slightly different from the beginner route, and basically we're just going to just jump into these snack boxes. We're just going to basically collect snacks in this level. That's really the only difference. And then we're going to jump from this boat to this flying fish here, damage abuse off of him to get across here to get this token. And then we're going to jump back across, and then we're going to collect these snack boxes along here. And then at the end of this line here, I just recommend just jumping over these guys, as they can be pretty pesky. You can single jump, double jump, whatever is most effective for you. And then make your way to this warp gate. And then we're going to warp to Mystery Machine. And then from Mr. Machine, we're just going to basically hold in between the up left and the left notch. That'll get you the right angle roughly to get to this key. And then we're going to go into Hedge 1. So when we enter Hedge 1, basically we want to be holding direct right on our control stick, so like this. And then basically we're going to roll up, and then we're going to roll down. And so we're going to do that in a fast motion. So again, just roll up, roll down. And then if we do that, we should be able to collect all the snacks in this level. So I'll just show it to you twice. So roll up, roll down. Show it again. Roll up, roll down, and then immediately dash. I'm kind of sucking here, but you can get all of them in one go. Like that. And then we're basically going to B-dash, and we're going to do something similar to any percent here, except that we're not going to do the Hedge 1 hill. We're just going to move through the level like this. We're going to collect these snacks. And this is just because we're collecting less snacks overall in this run compared to the beginner route, as there is some semblance of a snack route to this. It's still pretty open, but that is just what we will be doing. In Hedge 2, I wanted to discuss Yeet Cycle. So basically what Yeet Cycle is I will just try to show it. It's basically being able to climb this wall like that. And basically that can save you 2 seconds. It's a really finicky trick though. And basically what you're doing there is whenever you collect that last snack box and you jump to get that snack box, you basically jump and get that snack box and then roll to the up left notch. And then you jump onto the platform while you're holding into the up left notch. And then when you jump off the platform, and then basically as you're walking across the platform and you're about to jump off, you're going to want to move from the up left notch to in between the up notch and the up left notch. So like right there instead of here or here, in between those two notches. And basically like right as you input your first jump, you want to be in between the up left notch and the up notch. And then on your second jump, you want to be straight up into the straight up notch. And so what that looks in tandem is that we're going to unpause the game. We're going to dash around these enemies here. And then this is the snack box I was talking about. We're holding direct left, boom, up left, up into in between the notches, and then do that jump. So again, it's kind of fast. It's also kind of hard to explain, but basically, straight left, notches, up, right? And this is a very finicky trick, so it's just something to go for every single time. If you don't get it, you just saw what I did for the backup. You basically, if you don't get it, you just jump out and you jump back up. But if you do get it, you can get all the way up and you can save 2 seconds. And obviously we do this twice, so you can save up to 4 seconds. So it's a pretty big time save. But I'm not going to linger on it too much because generally no one gets this consistently. Like even in any percent, like me and Mortal didn't even get it consistent. It's just a very finicky trick. So let's just move on. Don't want to spend too much time on it. And we're basically just going to make our way through Hedge, the rest of Hedge 2, kind of just straight lining. We're going to jump and get these boxes on our way out. And then we're going to do something slightly different in Hedge 3, where we're going to do a faster way to basically make it to SCS. So what we're going to do, and basically what we're going to do is we're going to kind of roll from the up right notch and then do one full dash, and one full dash should take us right past this guy. So we should be able to make it past both these arrow guys before they shoot. And so again, we're kind of just like rubbing up on the wall a little bit here, but one dash get you past and then run up per usual. And here I like holding left on the D-pad first and then rolling forward. This allows you to insta-clip a bit better. I'll show that to you one more time. Again, SCS, if you don't get it immediately, it's just up left on the D-pad. But insta-clipping, left, up left, do that left rolling motion. And I basically just like roll like that. And then that allows you to get the insta-clip easier. And then we're basically just going to hold down right and just kind of skip all of Misbehaving, and we're going to go right into Skull 4. So Skull 4 is the first major turning point in the route, and this is the first, and this is basically the hardest thing that you're going to learn today. So buckle up. This is the hardest thing in the route, most likely besides maybe BKE. If you haven't been doing BKE, you're going to do BKE now, but we'll get there when we get there. But this is Skull 4 Void Warp. I'm just going to show it to you, and then we can. I'll break it down afterwards. And basically, if you know what void warping is, void warping just allows you to warp to the intended beginning entrance of the level. And since we're going through the Skull Cliff levels backwards, you're going to notice that this is going to warp us to the end of the level, or what is really known as the beginning of the level. So we're at the beginning of Skull 4, right? If I go through this door, we're going to be in Skull 3. So we skip this whole level. And if you come from the beginner route, you're going to notice that this level is 1.5 minutes long. And it takes about 30 seconds to do that trick. So this is a whole minute time save. And so this is a huge time save for the advanced route, but it's on the advanced route because of the difficulty. So let's go over that. So how I like to set up this trick is that the setup to get to this sign, I like to dash, hit this snack box, and then dash back, and then kick it out some so that Scooby's like around here. So I don't want him to be on the wall. I want him to be slightly off the wall as I jump into the sign, and that's just because you get a better angle into the stalactite hole that we're going to jump into. Because if we're along the wall and then we jump in, you see we have a slightly, like, it's a slightly harder angle, and because this trick is so precise, it's just way easier if you kick it out some and you're off the wall some before you jump and make your way up here. So, what that's going to look like is I'll just die, so I reset my position, but again, direct right, and we're just going to kind of roll up and around. and then I'm around here. And then basically once I'm around here, then I go and then I do the trick. That is a fun backup that you can do. Basically, like if you get too low here, you can basically, if you're too low here, you can basically just like jump again sometimes and then make it back in. But how do we get into that hole? So from here, I like to hold basically in between. So from here, I basically like to hold in between the up notch and the up, in between the up notch and the up left notch. Sorry. So I like holding in between the notches and then single jumping into the hole. I find that holding up left sometimes can be inconsistent, and holding direct up just doesn't get you the angle at all. And so holding in between the notches here is paramount to getting this trick. And then basically once you get in the hole, you're going to kind of want to roll, and you can actually kind of sit in this hole. So I'll try to show that off here. So if we jump in, I'm holding upright on my control stick right now, and you can actually just get in here. So I've gotten the trick, and basically what I need to do is hold down right, and then all I need to do is hold down right on my first jump and then up on my second jump, and then I should be able to make it up. I kind of got sucked back in, but you know. But again, in between the notches here, and then, you know, this trick can be finicky, and then whoop, down right and up, and then jump out and up. Sometimes this trick can shoot you down, which is really annoying, and there's nothing you can really do about that. If you get shot down, you're just kind of rolled. But again, in between the up left and the up notch, and then down right, and then like up, and basically just jump up here. And then once you're up here, the trick gets a lot easier. But this is the hardest part of the trick. Like getting into this beast of stalactite is so annoying to do. And then basically if you jump a little early or something, you know, if you jump a little early, you're just not going to hit the ledge at all. And then if you jump too late, you're just going to just roll right through it, right? And so I kind of like to jump like when you're around like the end of the pole. And then, yeah, and then sometimes you can get a ledge that's like too low, which is what I'm trying to get right now, this ledge. And so sometimes you can get that ledge, and then you can jump again, and then jump down right and up. This is actually what Cole does to get up here. He actually does that consistently to get up here. That's another way to do it. I'm really bad at it. I actually use that as a backup for my method. But the fastest way to do is just do a single jump. And so again, just single jump into this thing, and then down right, and then up. And then basically once you're up here, you've done the hardest part of the trick, and this should just be guaranteed from here, to be honest. But you just jump up here, make sure you're on this platform, because basically if you don't jump over here, you basically just like, you know, you just fall down. So just make sure that you jump up and over, and make sure you're on this invisible platform here. And then from here, you just kind of hold down left and just kind of roll to the up left notch as you round that corner to land up here. And then again, just, you know, down left up here, and then from this positioning, we're just going to basically just oh my god, you can fall out there. Okay, and basically as soon as we get to the top here, we're just going to B dash off, hold into the up left notch, and then wait for the full skid to go before you input the jump. If you input the jump too soon, you can actually just hit the death plane and die. So just make sure you input your jump after the full skid. Again, just jumping up here in tandem, and then basically if you fall here and you're here, fear not, you can kind of just jump up here and then jump out and back and make it up. And then, or sometimes you can just die. You can make it back up. Let's show it again. I just kind of beef that. Oh my god, let me in. You know, sometimes like this is a very hard trick. Like I mess it up very often. Like, so, like, don't be too hard on yourself when you're learning this trick. It just takes a lot of patience. So that's all. So basically, if you're down here again, you can kind of jump here and then jump out and back up. And then once you're on this like dark platform again, you're good to keep going. Again, I like to double jump twice, B dash, release the R button, full skid into the up left notch, and then jump out and over the death plane, and you should void warp. So one more time. Again, this is probably the hardest trick on this route besides BKE. So, but if you already learned BKE, you should be good to go here. And then we're just gonna kind of just make our way through. Oops, I fell, you know. Make our way up, and then just B dash off. This is the easiest part, you know, just wait for your whole dash frames to end. And sometimes you can actually be too far left and you can hit that water that you saw there, but generally you don't have to worry about that. and you've done skull for forward warp. So again, just like whenever you get into that, whenever you're jumping off that sign, just into the up left and the up notch, and then try to jump around the end of the sign. And so let's just keep it going. So skull 3, relatively simple. We're just going to B dash forward and just collect this box, and we're going to do very similar to what we did in the beginner route. Ideally you want to collect all those snacks, LMAO, but just wait for this platform cycle. As soon as it starts moving, you can just go ahead and jump, make your way over here, jump for this box, and then after we jump on these 2 platforms, we're just going to B dash, hit this, well, normally hit that snack box. I suck, LMAO, but we're just gonna keep going into skull 2. Again, here we're gonna stutter for half a second before we input our right direction, wiggle upwards, and then we're just gonna keep going as per usual. You don't need to worry about this boulder falling. But basically, the second boulder that you're going to run into, you want to aim yourself a bit further away just to ensure that you don't get hit by the boulder like that. Just go out and around, and then basically just keep going through skull 2. I'm not going to be lingering on the movement sections as much. But yeah, and then here is another difference from the beginner route, is that we're going to not do summer early. We're just going to jump straight across. So what I like to do is basically... I'm not going to make it here, I don't think. Yeah, so what I like to do essentially is, you kind of saw it there, but I kind of, on that last snack in the arc, I want Scooby's butt to be around that snack or on that snack or collecting that snack. And basically, you want to delay your jump enough so that his rear is all over that snack. And then when you input your second jump, you should be on the ledge of the platform moving towards you. And then from there, you just jump off of it and over and just do long extended double jumps in order to get over there. So let's try this again. Again, just hold direct right, and then, you know, kind of do this delay jump here, and then you can do like a single jump and then jump up there. I'll show it a couple more times. This is also just a, this is also a pretty like feel-based one. It doesn't save that much time to summer early, so if you just want to do summer early, you can, but you know, it saves about a second. And then when we do this wall climb, we're going to do something slightly different, where we're going to jump up here and jump on that ledge to get up here, and that saves about a second from the beginner route. And you basically just jump on that ledge instead of going like out and back. You basically just boop, and then jump on that ledge, and then make your way out of skull 1. And then we're at the helmet, and nothing changes in the helmet room. So we're just going to go collect the helmet. But at the end of this helmet room, we're going to discuss pause storage, and we're going to do a pause storage at the top of the hill. So, and I will basically teach you how to do that at the top of the hill. So let's just make it way through. There's a boulder cycle here that we're going to make. And basically you can just move in this positioning and then jump before that boulder hits you. And then we're going to dash aim up and around that zombie, because if you try to jump over him, he'll actually move back towards you, and then you're going to get hit. So just dash around him, and then just jump over these guys, and then we're going to collect the helmet. And again, the helmet has an animation, so just keep moving after you collect this, because otherwise he'll post up like this. But if you just keep moving, he won't post up like this. And then from here, when you break open this box, you're going to want to pause the game here. So basically, I'm going to pause here, and this is where we're going to do pause storage. We want to pause here just because this guy here is going into this snack box. But what we're going to do is that we're going to switch over to console, and I'm going to show you how to do pause storage on console, because it's way, 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 way easier on console than it is on emulator. It can be done on emulator. It's just more annoying. But for the purposes of this, I'm going to show you on emu. So for the purposes of this, I'm going to show you on console. I will show you on emu right after this. So, but what is pause storage? So pause storage essentially just allows us to warp from anywhere in the game without the use of a warp gate. And basically how we do that is that we bring up a debug menu, and from this debug menu, we can access the map menu and basically just use a glitch in the game, or a debugging tool, I guess, probably. I don't know the technicalities of it, but we basically just bring up 2 menus. One of them is a dev menu, and we basically just warp without a warp gate. And so what we do is we pause the game, and then we're going to hover over quit game, yes. And then we're going to unplug the controller and press A at the same time. So let me give you a better angle for that. here we are at my Wii here. So basically what we're going to do is that we're going to unplug the controller, press A at the same time. And so let's just do that. It's going to play this sound. If it plays the sound, you've done it correctly. And you can just hold the start button and plug your controller back in, and you've done the trick. You're completely good. You've done the trick. Pog, you have both the menus open. But before you do anything here, if you press A right now, remember how I said we're bringing up two menus? We have two menus open right now. This one that says continue is just the one on top of the other one. And so if you remember, we were hovering over Quick Game Yes when we unplugged, right? That means we're still on Quick Game Yes. So if I press A, I'm going to quit the game. Because we're hovering on Quick Game Yes and continue, making us just absolutely get annihilated. And so instead what we do is that when we're doing pause storage is that when we do it, again, here you go, unplug at the same time, hold start, plug it back in, we scroll up. When we scroll up, we're on Quick Game No now, so we just scroll up 3 times to the map, and then again we have two menus open. We're hovering on Quick Game No on the bottom one, and we're hovering on Map on the top one. And then basically what's going to happen is this. When we press A, the Quick Game No selection is basically just going to rise up, and then when we enter the map's actually going to go down. And so basically what's going to happen is that Quick Game No menu rises up, the map goes down. So here we go. We're going to press A, boom. We've entered the map on one of our menus, and then on our second menu, we are just here on Quick Game, as we would if we just, press Quick Game No as normal. And then now we can just warp from anywhere that we want. And just, and so to get around the map, I like to press Quick Game, and then this can just make you be able to go anywhere that you want. Just make sure that, like, if you're scrolling and you're on Quick Game Yes, scroll up to Quick Game No before you press A to go somewhere. And then we basically go over here. And so basically what I like to do is that, like, if we're in Hill 3, when we do this warp, it's going to look like this. And then I basically like to press Quick Game No, and then scroll up, and then, make our way through double sticking. And then you're going to notice, oh, I'm on the warp gate. I should be able to warp here, right? Well, that's because you actually have to scroll over. I don't really know why, but you have to scroll over map in order to warp. So if I just scroll up twice and I press A again, I warp, and that is pause storage. Again, this is much easier than emulator because you have a physical one-to-one. You unplug and press A at the same time, and you do it at the same time. Emulator, you have to slightly delay, which I'll get into in a second when we do it. But again, at the same time, I like to do it with a bit of force. But again, once you get this, you're good to go. And then basically, you can also move around here. So you can see I'm moving around. Right? And so I'm just going to die here and reset and just make sure I can see again. And I basically just want to let you know what happens is that basically if you are over Quick Game Yes and you hit the A button too late, nothing's going to happen. So again, look, I unplug first and then I press the A button, nothing happens because your controller's unplugged, so this is fine. So generally, while you're doing this trick, you want to err on the caution of being too late with the A press, because if you're too early with the A press... Oh, shit. I accidentally hit it, sorry. If you're too early on the A press, you quit the game, right? And so that's the danger with pause storage, is that you can quit the game. But again, we're saving 2.5 minutes by doing this like this, and that's mainly because 30 seconds of that alone is just loading time, because we're just going into less levels and there's 30 seconds of loads that we're just cutting out, as well as all the movement backtracking that we're cutting out as well throughout the route. I will basically tell you when we get to a pause storage, I will basically just cut from where we're going to, the pause storage area, but I will just tell you how many there are. If you don't want to go for all 8, I totally get that. But the ones that you should at least go for 3 of them, and that is the one in Lighthouse 1, the one in Upstairs, and the one in a Gas, because those 3 alone save the most time. But again, all of them save some time. This one in Hill 3 saves 4 seconds. And so let me show you how to do this on emulator real quickly. Again, this is not really recommended for emulator, but I just want to make this the most accessible as possible instead of being like, oh, you have to have a physical copy and a physical Wii. So let's switch it back over to this. So how we're going to do emulator is that I actually have my whole desktop here. You can see all the shit I have. But what we're going to do is that we're going to bring up this window in Dolphin here. And this is because we need to unplug our controller. And as you can see, I have control right now. I'm plugged into this adapter, right? And then if I unplug, nothing happens, right? It still has a controller. So what we have to do is that we have to open the Dolphin settings and we have to go into controllers. And then basically from this controller setting, we just hit this to none and then it unplugs. And so basically this is how we're going to be unplugging the game. So I'm just going to hover this over here. I like to personally have this on a separate monitor if I was going to do this, but we're basically going to press A slightly after we press none because there's a slight delay. So click. There's a very slight delay. So basically we want to go instead of like at the same time, we want to slightly delay our A button press. So here we go. Let's see if I can hit this first try. Ruffle. Didn't get it. I was too slow. Again, erring on the caution to slide of slow is better. Just keep going. But again, there you go. It's much harder to do on emulator because it's just kind of awkward, but you can get it down. And then basically, again, same as console, you just hold start and then you just hit this button again. And now we can do pause storage. So what I like to do for this warp, again, scrolling up to the map. So you're off a quick game. No, I like to hit quick game and then now it's just much easier to just roll through where we want to go. And then again, scrolling up twice to make sure you're over the map. Because if you're not over the map, if you don't scroll over the map basically one time, you just won't be able to warp. But it doesn't matter what you select after you scroll up to the map. I just stop on the map just because it's faster. But again, I reach for it to unplug because I'm so used to doing on console. But so again, none, boom, like that, hold start, plug it back in. You can get pretty fast at this. I'm just not fast at it because I just don't do it. But again, I can, like, as soon as I scroll over the map one time, I can go on. As soon as I scroll over the map one time, I can actually hover on quick game, yes, and still warp. Funny enough, I don't recommend doing that, but you can do it. And basically you can warp to any warp gate that you have activated. And again, this is an advantage that console has on emulator, is that you can just do pause storage faster on average, because unplugging and replugging is way faster than, like, you know, doing this and then doing that. It's just, you know, it's a bit more tedious and a bit more annoying, but I just want to just let you know that it can be done on emulator. And so you can still get a really good time on emulator. Probably just going to end up losing, I would say, like 10-ish seconds just because of the speed cap that you have on emulator, but maybe you won't end up losing. Maybe you can do it faster. I don't know. I don't have practice on it, so I can't tell you for sure, but that's going to end our discussion on this route, because again, we're going to warp from Hill 3 all the way back to Coast 3. And then we're going to pay the 500 snack gate, and then we're going to make our way into, we're just going to make our way into Which Way, but we'll cover Which Way to Green Ghost in the next video. So that's the end of part 2. And then I'll see you guys in part 3. Thanks for watching. Be sure to like and subscribe.